When did you realize you raised your daughter right? My daughter Elia destroyed our neighbor's face with a baseball bat. I was in the middle of a work meeting when my phone lit up with a call from my neighbor Roman. His voice was shaking with fury. Your daughter Elia is psychotic. She attacked me with a baseball bat. I was just checking on her like you asked, and she broke my effing nose. The cops are already here. My blood ran cold. Elia was a straight A student and had never been in a fight in her life. I ran to my car and started driving. The 20-minute drive home felt like hours, my mind racing through every possible scenario. Roman's words kept echoing in my head. Psychotic, attacked, broke my nose. What could have possibly happened? By the time I reached our driveway, my shirt was soaked with sweat. The scene that greeted me was even worse than I'd imagined. Two police cruisers were parked outside with their lights flashing, and half the neighborhood had gathered on their lawns to stare. Roman was on our front porch and was holding a towel to what was clearly a broken nose. His white polo shirt was stained red, and he was gesturing wildly at two officers who were taking notes. She needs to be locked up, he was shouting. This is assault with a deadly weapon. I want charges pressed. Elia sat on our front lawn with her knees pulled to her chest, staring at the grass. She looked so small, so defeated. The female officer approached me as I got out of the car. Sir, your neighbor claims your daughter attacked him unprovoked with a baseball bat. If he presses charges, we're looking at aggravated assault. That could mean juvenile detention. My stomach dropped. Roman saw me and immediately started ranting. She's violent! Unhinged. I was just checking on her like you asked, making sure she got home safe from school, and she came at me like a wild animal. Look at my face. My nose is broken. I might need surgery. The male officer showed me photos they'd taken of Roman's injuries. His nose was definitely broken, already starting to bruise. Your daughter hasn't said a word since we arrived, the officer said quietly. We need to know what happened here. I walked past Roman, ignoring his continued shouting about pressing charges and teaching violent children a lesson. Then I knelt down beside Elia on the grass and gently put my hand on her shoulder. She flinched but didn't look up. Elia, sweetheart, I need you to tell me exactly what happened. Every detail. She finally raised her head, and I saw her eyes were red from crying, but there was something else there too. Anger, maybe even disgust. I was in my room, she said, her voice barely a whisper. I was changing out of my school clothes. She paused, swallowing hard. Then suddenly I saw movement by my door. It was cracked open, and when I looked, I saw a phone camera pointed at me through the gap. Roman immediately started yelling, "That's a complete lie. She's making things up to save herself." But I held up my hand to silence him, and Elia continued, her voice getting stronger. I didn't think, Dad. I just reacted. I grabbed the baseball bat from under my bed and ran at him. I hit him in the face, hard. Roman tried interrupting again. I was just checking if she needed anything. This is insane. Roman, shut your mouth before I break more than your nose, I said coldly. The officers exchanged glances as Elia kept talking. When I saw it was Roman, I got even angrier. He's always been creepy, Dad. Comments about my outfits, showing up when you're not home, finding excuses to come to my room. So yeah, I kept slamming that bat into his face over and over, and I'd do it again. Roman was practically purple with rage. You lying bitch! First you attacked me, and now you're making up an excuse to try and frame me? He looked around and waved his hands like this was ridiculous. You're going to believe this lying little brat? I've been your neighbor for 5 years. I was doing you a favor. The female officer stepped forward. Sir, were you holding your phone when this happened? Roman's face went from purple to white in seconds. I might have been texting, maybe checking the time. Officers, I said, standing up slowly, keeping my voice calm and steady. We have security cameras throughout our house, including the hallway outside my daughter's bedroom. The footage will show exactly what Roman was doing with his phone, whether he was texting or recording. The change in Roman's demeanor was instant. His shoulders slumped, the rage evaporating from his face. You know what? No need to check cameras over a small scuffle. Kids make mistakes. Maybe she misunderstood the situation. I don't want to ruin her life over a misunderstanding. The male officer narrowed his eyes. Sir, we're going to need to see that footage, and we'll be examining your phone. Roman started backing away. That's really not necessary. Like I said, just a misunderstanding. These things happen. But the female officer was already pulling out handcuffs. Sir, hand over your phone. The disgusting freak tried running away, but tripped over his legs and was cuffed immediately. Elia stood up and hugged me tightly. Dad, we don't actually have cameras in the hallway, she whispered. I hugged her back, watching Roman get pushed into the police car. We do now, sweetheart. We do now.